Hello, everybody. It's more of the same as the market just has no follow through, of course, to it. The Nasdaq overall traded with an inside day, kind of. It kind of went below yesterday's intraday lows by just a tad, but reversed nicely. Volume was lower today, so no distribution day, so that's a good sign. The NYSE, however, was a technical distribution day, but the intraday action was overall constructive. It's hard to get too upset about it. We basically had an inside day on the S&P 500, tested the intraday lows and held. Oscillators are still pointed higher overall for the S&P 500, and similar situation for the Nasdaq. So it's nothing to be concerned about yet. But the weakness in the Russell 2000 continues as it was down 0.99% today. You can see stochastics, MACD, Wilder's RSI, and MACD, TSV are all confirming that the Russell 2000 probably wants to go lower. And as no surprise, probably then, TZA is giving me an add signal today, basically closing above the intraday high a day on the 27th with the pocket pivot point signal without being up too much. So definitely an add signal for me. Volume was higher than the session before. 1015 is higher than 1012, pocket pivot point signal, and all of my oscillators, as you can see, are in agreement. So TZA, 1% for it being in my ETF scan, 1% for it being in my price volume BOP surge scan. So 2% add position. Now, despite that, we actually have a new long signal before I get to the sells, GCAP. This is a CanSlim quality long. And the reason why I'm taking is because it's giving a pocket pivot point signal. And if we're wrong, we risk right around 2.5% at worst. And I mean, if you want to really get crazy, you could use like these low a days and you're still risking only 4%. Or what you could do is put half the sell stop here, the other half here. And that's probably what I'm going to do on this position. But it's going to be a 2.5% signal. CanSlim quality only. No confirmation in the price volume BOP scan. Earnings, I do believe, are on the 5th, so they're pretty soon. But once again, if we're wrong, we don't risk much. And insiders have bought the stock since the lows. So I really doubt it's going to get too ugly. And as you can see with the internal oscillators, I'm going to go ahead and show them because right now in this choppy market, this is going to be a deciding factor if I take a position or not. They're all in confirmation of the uptrend, so I think we're good to go there. And before I go to my speculative long signal, I just can't press the right button there. I'm going to go over all the sells. LEAF is a 50% sell because it's closing below this support level here. I'm already out of all of it as it hit all my sell stops that day. But it's definitely a 50% sell signal. Final sell stops below these lows of days, 50.11. And then LEAF will be all gone. I'm already all out. ATHM hit all my sell stops, but by the end of the day, that's a pretty big three-day reversal. And once again, we just can't get above this 55 level. So another reversal, heavy volume, lost our BOP catalyst, all out of the picture for ATHM with this choppy market. Wolf failed the 50-day moving average before producing any significant gains on extremely heavy volume. So Wolf is out of here. MUSA, I'm already out of all of it. Back here is when I was taken out of all of it. But on a closing basis, never really gave a full sell signal. But today, that's confirmation. So if you're still long from MUSA, which we got long around over here, or over here, excuse me, over here. So if we're long from here, we now only have a small gain if you still have it. But MUSA is a full sell signal. HNT and CNC, both of these healthcare plan stocks have failed. So CNC and HNT are out, and ANIP has failed on an end-of-day basis. I was taken out of all of it on this day, the 27th. Good thing, saved myself about 5 percentage points on the stock, but overall ANIP is a fail. And then I decided to do, there was a few stocks I flagged. RNG looks good. Just a little, choppy overall. And if you look at the oscillators, they're not necessarily short-term trending higher. So RNG ended up being a pass. IMPR is a pretty good one, very strong stock. But earnings are on the 4th, and that's just a little too soon for a stock that's speculative with negative earnings. But a nice chart pattern overall. I'm going to go ahead and decide, but before I do anything else, NGE also is coiling. So it's something to be interested in, but as you can see, the oscillator is definitely not confirming. And CRZO, nice, but oscillators, once again, not confirming, not a pocket pivot point signal, up a lot compared to its average true range the past month and a half. Perfect speculator scan, CanSlim quality scan. MPLX also pre-perfect speculator scan, but earnings are tomorrow before the opening bell, so nothing you can do there. I decided to go ahead and take long DLNG. DLNG had a pocket pivot point signal a few sessions ago. Since then, it has traded in a very tight sideways fashion, and now it is taking out its 200-day moving average, barely, as you can see, on extremely heavy volume, confirming the move yesterday. And BOP also increased yesterday on the heavier volume support at the 50, and with BOP exploding up to max green BOP with a big volume surge and a price move, 1% of the account capital can go into DLNG because it has some strong earnings growth, has some strong sales growth in 2015 and 16 estimates for the year. Expect earnings increases, so it's not a totally speculative stock, and I believe it also has an 8% dividend yield, so not too bad overall. But that's it, 1% in that, GCAP 2.5%. Both of these offer extremely limited risk unless there's a crazy ass gap down, which I really doubt it in both of these stocks. And then TZA 2% add.